Jordan, I'm contacting you just to make sure of some things. Your reservation for tomorrow is for 7 p.m., correct? And you are still planning to have 60 people come to eat and drink here? Huh? Confirming with me something like that at this time of day is sort of making me not want to go there anymore. I'm sorry if 3:14 in the afternoon isn't a good time for you, but that's why I'm texting instead of calling. But as for your reservation, I just need to double check on the time and amount of people. I want to make sure you don't have any last-minute changes or anything like that before we start preparing everything. If you still plan to have all 60 people show up, then I have to make sure there's enough food here to make 60 meals, as well as enough alcohol to allow everyone a few drinks. That's just a part of what my restaurant does. Oh yeah? You're talking like you run a proper restaurant or something over there. I was thinking that the place you're running, May, was on its last leg based off the way it looks from the outside. All of that siding hanging off and some of the windows looking like they're cracked. That all tells me that you're in need of some money badly to afford those repairs. I'm the one being kind enough throwing the class reunion at a shack like that. I'm sure it would make you a lot of money having us all there tomorrow, right? So if you have the time to confirm the reservation with me, then maybe you should be using that time to be thanking me instead. I am very thankful that you've chosen to have the class reunion at my restaurant, but you plan to have 60 people come here? If there were ever something to happen that caused you to cancel this plan tomorrow, then it would be a huge blow to me. That's why I'm confirming this now before I start the final preparations. I'm telling you, there are no problems with the reservation, rude jerk. And tomorrow, I'm going to be the host of the party, so don't you dare slack off. I'm already having to throw this event at your rundown joint, so don't do anything else to embarrass me. I'm sure that to many, this building my restaurant is in is pretty old looking, but a lot of my valued customers love coming to my restaurant for this older style of aesthetic that my restaurant perfectly displays. I wouldn't say the siding is coming off in spots either, and those aren't cracks in the windows you're seeing. Probably just reflections from the outside that makes it look like the windows are cracked. So far, the business has been thriving here. And I'm sure the only reason you're still making any money there is because you serve the poor, and since this town is full of them, you can stay in business. Stop thinking you're making yourself look good by saying that. If you're going to continue making such rude comments like that, then why are you having the reunion here? Wouldn't you rather go somewhere else instead of my restaurant if it's that big of an eyesore and is already making you feel embarrassed? You happen to be one of those old classmates of mine, so I thought it'd be nice to support your wretched little business. There isn't any deep meaning to it besides that. I see. Then I'll be waiting for you and everyone else tomorrow. Just remember to get here a little early since you're the host to make sure everything is set up to your liking. Jordan, answer your phone, please. What do you want? Right now, I'm in the middle of the class reunion and don't really have time to waste talking with someone like you. Huh? What do you mean you're in the middle of it? You made a reservation to have that event at my restaurant today. Yet you're at the class reunion right now? Where are you having it at? What is going on here? I'm having the high school class reunion right now at that beautiful restaurant right near the bus station. The food here is delicious and the atmosphere is so luxurious. No wonder so many people chose to have their wedding here. Compared to your shack, the difference is like day and night. I totally forgot to invite you to this, but I never cared to invite you to begin with. So you're telling me you changed locations for the reunion? When I called you yesterday to make sure there wouldn't be any changes, you said everything was fine. How could you do this to me? May, you are so unaware of anything that it's hilarious. There's no way I'm going to some dirty place like that you call a restaurant. You thought I'd actually throw the class reunion in a shack like that? Come on. You're an idiot, May. I'm canceling the reservation for 60 people right now, please and thank you. I'm sure that's going to ruin your restaurant for good. But hey, somebody had to put that eyesore out of its misery, and that somebody appears to be me. Are you saying right now is the time to be saying that? Right now, your parents are right in front of me on their hands and knees apologizing to me. Huh? If you're going to try lying to me, please make it just a little bit more realistic. I'm sure you don't know anything about this, Jordan, but your parents have been regular customers of mine for a long time. And they just came here a second ago to eat. But I had to tell them that the restaurant was all reserved for the class reunion, yet nobody has shown up yet. Your parents thought that something about that was strange themselves because they both came here to wait for you. They said they wanted to see you and say hi, as well as have a meal here if it was still okay with you and me. Stop joking with me, please. My dad happens to be a member of Congress, all right? Yet you're telling me he frequents your dirty little shack? You can joke about that all you want, but nobody is going to laugh about it. Especially not me, who happens to care a lot about my family. I would never joke about something like this. Your dad happens to have his office in town, right? So he comes here more than any other restaurant because it's close to his office and he doesn't have to worry about people really recognizing him. He's told me not to make a big deal out of anything you've done tonight, or it might spread around and start to affect the next election. So you should really think about what I'm saying here. Stop screwing around already! Now you're trying to make fun of my dad and my family with all those lies and jokes. I'm going to take you to court and sue you for trying to defame my family. And then we'll all get to see just how tough you are with all those lies. I understand you not wanting to believe any of this, but I am being serious right now. Please, Jordan, don't do anything else stupid here.
Sorry for texting you this late at night. May, I noticed that you weren't at the class reunion tonight. Were you there and I just never got around to talking with you, or did something else come up?
Dean? Well, about all that. I was never told anything about the class reunion being at that restaurant. Actually, I'm sure none of you have any clue what Jordan was up to today and had done to me.
What? Did you and Jordan get into something?
Well, actually, Jordan had made reservations at my restaurant to have the class reunion here. But by the time people should have been coming for the event, there was still not a single person showing up. So when I texted her about it, she told me she was canceling last minute on me.
She canceled last minute? That reservation was for 60 people, right? How badly did that end up affecting your business in the end?
Pretty badly. At least, that's what I think. I haven't gone through and done all the math yet on the wasted food and space, but...
I'm sure it's pretty bad. And that's the reason why you never ended up coming to the class reunion then, huh? I was wondering the whole time why I was never able to find you anywhere. But something like that had just happened to you, so of course you were never around. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Thank you for worrying about me, Dean. You happen to be a lawyer, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure there will be plenty of things I want to talk about regarding the legal side of all this, so would you please be there to help guide me along?
Leave it to me. As for myself, there are some things that I don't like too much about that Jordan anyway. But before getting to all that gossip, are you aware that she's married right now?
That's what I assumed. I heard from someone that her husband was a lawyer, right?
I see. Thank you for letting me know that. Once I have some things for you, I'll get back in touch. As for that gossip, I think I'll have to wait a little bit.
Hey, May, because of you, my dad is really upset with me. Well, that's not on me. I told you all about how much your parents frequent my restaurant, yet you've continued to make fun of the place and myself. Well, of course I'd continue to make fun of you. It's not like I was going to believe what they were saying to me. I don't care how much they think your place's cooking is delicious. It's old and run down and deserves to close. Don't you start thinking you're some tough witch just because my parents went to you to apologize for everything I did. If the elections weren't coming up here, then all of this would have never been a problem for me. Would you stop acting like a freaking child already? What are you trying to do by making that much fun of my restaurant and acting like I have no right to defend it? You know what I'm doing. None of this is even about the restaurant itself, but about you being my toy. And since you're my toy, I can do whatever I want with you. Whenever I want to. You've always been like this, Jordan. Back in high school, you would bully me all to get a good laugh in. The more I felt sad and was in trouble, the more you would smile and laugh at me. I have never been able to forget that devilish smile of yours. You're saying that a gorgeous woman like me has a devilish smile? Do you understand what you're doing? That right there is you being jealous of me. Because of what's happened this time, I think you've chosen to start making things up. I never even made any reservations at your shack before. I was just thinking that I wanted to make a reservation was all, and had talked to you about it. What are you talking about? I spoke with you over both the phone and through text about that reservation you made. Are you not aware of anything? It's not that easy to use text as a form of evidence when you're blaming me for something. All I have to do is delete whatever I send and there will be nothing for you to use. Which, of course, I'm going to be doing right now. Even these messages we're sending now. And besides, did you really think I was ever wanting to use a dirty place like that for the class reunion? Stop trying to think of me as such an idiot, all right? So you're going this far, all to make me feel even worse. All right then. Then I'm not going to hold back any longer. You say you've been holding back? Tell me then, May, what do you think you're going to be able to do about this? You're only going to be able to make fun of me like that for a little bit longer, Jordan. All right. Try your best to take me down then. It's been a few days now, May. So far you haven't done anything to me yet. After trying so hard, making it seem as though you could actually put up a fight, this is what you had to offer me? This pretty much means that no matter how hard you try to resist, you will always be my little toy. But hey, then it at least makes more sense why you run such a dirty little restaurant. I'm still getting things ready, so I can't attack you quite yet. I promise that in time, you'll get what's coming for you. I'm sure whatever you're preparing for isn't going to bother me one bit. And if you run crying to your parents right now, you might be able to avoid my counterattack later on. Not even my dad will be able to do anything about you once you've crawled back into your parents' house. No matter how much you want to rely on him being a member of the U.S. Congress, there is only so much he'd be able to do about you and I. Honestly, I don't think he'll be able to touch me when the time comes. And by the way, this has nothing to do with him anyway, so I'm sure he won't mind what I have to give to you. Unlike you, he will probably agree with what you have coming. Then tell me who's going to help you. Right now, I'm talking with someone who knows about law, in order to hand in paperwork stating that you went and harmed my business. Huh? What are you talking about, harming your business? I haven't done a single thing to your business, though. You canceled that reservation you had at my restaurant for a bad reason. For that, I will be able to say that my business fell victim to your rash and thoughtless actions. Were you not aware of that? I'm sure you're just bluffing right now. I've already gone and erased all the evidence you could have used, so there's no way you can sue me in court now. I'm sure you feel safe for canceling those messages you sent me. But I've already gone and screenshotted all of those messages, so there's really no hiding from me now. You screenshotted those? Why the hell would you do something like that? Because ever since high school, you have been my bully and never once let up on making me feel horrible. You should understand that I had to have a backup plan in case things went south with you. I've made sure to record the phone call we had as well, so that your voice can be heard telling me that you wanted that reservation at my restaurant. I think this will all be making for some great evidence. I want you to wait patiently for all the papers on my end to be filled out and for you to receive that court notice in the mail. Don't be such an idiot. I was just messing around with you like an old friend of yours is all. And you're trying to take me to court over it? You're screwed if you do that. I'm going to tell everyone on the internet about this. If that's what you want to do, then go right ahead. But that only means it's fair for me to put all of this evidence I have of you online as well, right? I'd do it to protect myself. Then all of those people you're trying to get help from online will be able to judge you with all the facts in hand. They might even end up judging your dad based on your actions as well then. Then all this will become about more than just you hurting my business on purpose, right? You can't be serious. May, of all people, you can't. I'll tell my dad right now to tell the police to not even bother with your case and to throw it all away. Do you really think your dad has that kind of power? He doesn't, and that's why he was at my feet begging me not to say anything about what you'd done. Crap. Then I'm going to ask my husband, who's a lawyer, to help. You've been verbally harassing me all this time. I can sue you for that, you know. I happen to have a really powerful lawyer with me as well, so go ahead and try me. Huh? Do you even have the money for a good enough lawyer? Wait, is it Dean? I heard something about that yesterday, how he became a lawyer himself. You and him have been close to one another for forever, so I'm sure he's your lawyer. I am not going to forgive you for talking about me behind my back. I am going to crush your restaurant. Dean, I know that you and May are talking to one another right now, but it's not going to work. No matter what you try and do to me, it's all going to be for nothing. My husband happens to be a lawyer as well, and when it comes to court cases, my husband has won every one of them, and will win against you too.
You and I never really had the chance to speak to one another at the call reunion, did we? But from what I can tell, you haven't changed one bit since high school. You still haven't learned that this world does not revolve around you, and that one day acting like that will bite you in the butt hard.
She was making fun of me, and now you? Whatever, it's already been decided. I'm going to sue both you and May now. I've already gone and screenshotted the message you just sent me making fun of me, so don't even try deleting any of the messages because you're too late.
What are you trying to do? Are you copying mine now or something?
Shut up! I don't fear anything you and that witch plan to do to me because none of it's going to matter. Ah, I see. This is about how you were never able to help save May in the past, so now you're trying to make up for that now? After seeing how often I was screwing with May, you went and tattled to the teacher, right?
Screwing with her? You really think that you'd been the only one screwing with her? Everybody knew that what you were doing to her was way too much more than just screwing with her.
You think so? But besides you, nobody else stepped in to try and save her, right?
That's because back then you would always threaten people with telling your dad on them, and that's why nobody dared to fight you. He's been in Congress for a long time now, and none of us at school had a clue what he could do. And that's why you ended up doing that to the teacher, right? You threatened to tell your dad about her, and that's why she never ended up putting you in detention or anything. Also, once you found out that I had told on you, you started to bully me as well. Do you know how many times you had taken my things from me and thrown them in the trash? My binders, my textbooks, my pencils? After seeing how much myself and May were bullied by you after all this time, all of our friends left us to avoid you. Because of you, both May's and my high school life was living hell. How much longer are you going to keep on acting like a freaking bully?
You think I'm going to ever stop picking on you guys? My dad happens to be in a very powerful position, and I'm a gorgeous woman. My husband also happens to be a lawyer. I have every right to stand above you all and do whatever I want to you. I can do anything and get away with it. When I have time to waste, I'd prefer spending it making your guys' lives a whole lot worse. And you have no right to complain about any of it because you're all nobodies.
I see. I guess that's it for me, too.
Why is that? Because I'm too strong for both you and May to defeat?
Does your husband know anything about the true kind of human filth you are?
I have done a good job at hiding it from him.
Well, what about you cheating on him at the moment?
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm cheating on him? No, I'm not. I have a husband who is both handsome and makes me lots of money. Why would I ever want to cheat on him? Just because I'm beating both you and May right now doesn't mean you can start making false claims like that. This is just another bluff from you both because you don't even have any evidence of it.
I wonder about that. On that day of the class reunion, I saw you and Chris took off together for a bit, and then I saw the two of you heading into a hotel together. I made sure to take pictures of that.
Did you freaking follow us? I can't believe this. But now that you know about me, what's going to happen? That all has nothing to do with you.
Of course, it has nothing to do with me, but it has a lot to do with your husband. When I last ran into him at the courthouse, I made sure to let him know.
What? You're kidding. You know my husband well enough to talk to him about something like this?
We work for different law firms, but we do see one another quite a lot at the courthouse. I made sure to also show him the pictures, of course. I'm excited to hear all about the fun things he'll have to tell you when he gets home from work.
I'll be fine. It was just for one night. My husband will forgive me for something like that.
For one night only? I'm not sure that's the case with you, especially when you're meeting with Chris on the daily. It's only been a few days now since the class reunion, and you and him have been really hitting it off.
Why do you know about all of this stuff?
I went and talked about it with your husband. Him and I talked for a little bit about this, and I made sure to do a little asking around. Since we both happen to be lawyers, we both knew what to do in situations like this, and that's why we were able to learn about everything so quickly. There's no avoiding a divorce now, Jordan. Make sure you're prepared to pay him a settlement as well.
You're a monster.
I believe it's you who's the monster.
Why is this happening to me? Because of you, my life is going to be hell now. My husband is asking me for a divorce now, and he even wants me to pay him a settlement. And my mom and dad aren't going to help me pay any of it. Everything has been going so well for me. It's all because of you and Dean that everything is falling apart. You canceled your reservation to hurt my business and then cheated on your husband. All of that was things you did that we had no control over. So would you stop trying to make me responsible for your mistakes? I'm not your mom. Are you just trying to blame us because you don't want to have to realize how horrible of a person you are? Or maybe you've just become so stupid that you can't tell that what you're doing is wrong anymore. What the hell? You think you can just start talking to me like that because you're in a better place than I am? You picking on me is just the same as the ways I've been messing with you. Making fun of my family and acting like you are better than me? You and I are both the same. I think it's only fair for me to take you down with me for this. So this is just like high school to you? It is. You've been that same little witch this whole time and deserve to be bullied for it. Are you kidding me? You have no idea how hard my life has been because of you already. Ever since you started to pick on me and then bully me in high school, my life has been a nonstop hell that I can never escape. I ended up losing all my friends as they tried to avoid you, and no teachers would ever be willing to help me. Locking me into my locker some days and other days stealing my things so that I had nothing to use in class. And when it came to you straight up punching me, that happened at least 2 times. My family was never that fortunate at the time, and we didn't have the money to move away because of you. My only option was to keep going to that high school because there were no other schools in town. Back then, I would have given my life to be as far away as possible from you. Yet now that we're adults who have very different lives, you still come to harass me. Just stop it already. Shut the hell up. You are my toy to play with, so don't you dare talk back to me like that. And from what it looks like to me now, you're talking to me like you have everything. I mean, you gave your all to get that rundown shack of a restaurant, so you must be at your peak, even though it's so low. I'm really sorry to tell you this, but that restaurant isn't the only one I own. Huh? My restaurants are known for using only the most fresh and local foods. And since that has become so popular lately, I happen to have 3 restaurants now. My restaurants have become really popular with women as well, so I'm thinking I'll open a cafe next. I'm sure you never expected to hear any of this from me, right? You've been trying to kick a bird that can just fly away from you. So listen, Jordan, you might have thought I was dirt poor or whatever, but I happen to have a lot more money on me. No way. You're lying. Mate, you have more than just that shack? And as for that place you call a shack, that happens to be my flagship restaurant where this all started for me. I have a lot of money now due to my other restaurants, so I was planning to upgrade the place into a more developed restaurant soon. So it's no longer going to be that old shack you keep calling it. With that, this means there's nothing else you can bully me about. Do you understand that? No way. I've been left by my husband now. My parents are about to throw me away as well. And now I'm being told that you're actually living a really good and happy life? Where did I go wrong? Was this all because I canceled the reservation at your restaurant? So you don't think those 4 years of bullying myself and Dean in high school was the problem for you? It's not that I'm asking you to apologize to me for all that, and it's not like that would help you get any forgiveness from me. But to say it bluntly, you're never going to fix that toxic attitude of yours, are you? No matter how hard you try to get rid of it and change as a person, everyone is going to see the real you and know your past, which will then lead to them leaving you and you'll be alone forever. Even if I try forever to fix my ways? No way. Please, at the very least, don't take me to court. Then I think my dad will be willing to forgive me. I am not going to back down. Wouldn't you rather continue to bully the owner of a dirty restaurant like myself? What? I'm sorry for making fun of your restaurant like that, May.
That paperwork we handed into the court went through, and the court case will be held soon.
Thank you so much for all you've done, Dean. You have really done everything you could to take care of me.
Oh, don't worry about it. This happens to also be what I do for a living, but isn't this great? I was never able to help you back in high school, and that's what made me really hate Jordan.
This time was the first time I had ever heard about you trying to do something like that for me then. Thank you so much.
No worries, okay? The reason I became a lawyer was to make sure that I could help those that are in need.
After what's happened here, I finally feel a sense of release from the past I was carrying around with me. Like, I can finally catch a breath of fresh air and move freely.
I feel the same way. I'm finally able to do something I was never able to do back then. I'm so happy that I finally was able to help you, May.
Next time, I'd like you to come eat at one of my restaurants. I'll treat you to whatever you'd like on the menu. In the end, Jordan was made to pay a large settlement to my business for harming it intentionally, as well as her husband in her divorce. And once that had all been settled, her parents left her for good, disowning her from their family. Once Jordan had been kicked out of her house with the divorce, she was expected to go out and get a job for herself. But having been a housewife all her life, she didn't seem to have the attitude of wanting to work at all. I'm sure even now she's just wandering around without a job yet. I've heard from others that in order to keep herself going, she's been seen borrowing lots of money from loan sharks, which is only going to dig her into a deeper hole than she's already been in. But I'm sure she doesn't really have any other choice, considering everyone she once called her family has left her, and those she thought were her friends ran off too when they found out what she did. On the other hand, when it comes to myself, I've been doing really well with my business, and I'm on my way to planning out that new cafe here soon. I'm really busy with all of that now, but it's fun to be busy with something you love doing. And considering I got a very large settlement from Jordan in the court case, I will be using that money for this new cafe, and might even name it after her because of that. I've been hanging out with Dean a lot more again, and next week we're planning to have dinner together. I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for the both of us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.